Welcome back. Today I want to talk about a question that I keep getting lately, and that is how much should I fill the lungs and how much should I empty the lungs when I'm doing heart rate variability resonant breathing? When I'm creating that coherence between the heart and the lungs, the breath, how much should I breathe in and how much should I breathe out? So, very easy. We're going to answer this today, and we're going to get into the two things that we really need in meditation, what we're attempting to do with our body and mind. The two things, we're just going to simplify it all the way down to 1, 2 steps. All right, so let's get into it. So the overriding rule that we are going to use with heart rate variability resonant breathing is it has to be comfortable because we are endeavoring to use and get into our dorsal parasympathetic system. That's the healing system, right? So sympathetic system, it's fight or it's flight. I'm going to run or I'm going to fight. And the opposite of that is the parasympathetic. We're getting into the deep parasympathetic, which is the dorsal parasympathetic. So everything has to be comfortable. If we're going to power through our posture and our posture is uncomfortable, it's not going to work. You're going to awaken your sympathetic system. If you're going to power through and force yourself to meditate 2 hours, even though it's uncomfortable, you're in the sympathetic system. And bit by bit by bit, that adds up when you do that over and over again. So we want everything easy and comfortable. It's like a lazy man's yoga. Everything has to be easy and everything has to be comfortable because that's the only thing that's going to correctly awaken the parasympathetic system. So when we're breathing in, a good rule is we don't want to raise the shoulders. In other words, we would be raising this bone right here, which is the clavicle. So if I breathe in, see how that clavicle is going up? That's not good. We don't want to raise the shoulders when we're breathing in. All right? Now you might sense that they roll out a little bit. So the rib cage is expanding and the clavicle right here might roll out a little bit like that. That's okay. And that's going to minimize over time. So we're not just coming in and it's one thing only. You know, you hear about these meditation techniques and the breath rate is one thing only. And that's really kind of limited. So a teacher may use that as a guideline. He might say, this is what you want to set your sights on, you know. But the truth is that breathing in meditation is a progression. So it's going to go from one place to another place, to another place, to another place, to another place. It's going to shift over time because we're not only changing from normal breathing to heart rate variability resonant breathing, we're changing from heart rate variability resonant breathing to a deeper kind of resonant breathing, and then eventually to the tranquil breath. So we're really in a 4-stage step here. And so at first, you know, you might have some breath up here in the lungs, and sometimes it'll be like, well, is that really what I want? Because Forrest said I should breathe way down at the bottom of my lungs. But in the beginning, it's okay. So don't worry about it too much. Just make it comfortable. So on one side, if you raise the clavicles and you raise the shoulders as you breathe in, well, that's not correct. And on the other side, if you don't breathe enough and then you breathe out, and you feel as if you don't have enough breath. It's like I didn't take a big enough breath and now I'm uncomfortable on the out breath. That was not enough. You have to breathe in enough where it is comfortable for you. Everything is easy, everything is comfortable. All right? That's our rule because we want to get into that parasympathetic system. Now, as I breathe out, how much do I breathe out? Am I going to suck the gut in really hard? Am I going to force the gut in really hard? Of course not. I'm going to be moving all around if I do that. I'm going to break the rule of sitting very still, right? But the gut is a little bit different than the rest of the body. It can move some. So if only the stomach is moving and you feel like it is comfortable to keep breathing out, but you're feeling your stomach muscles contract inward, that's just fine. That's okay. So long as it's feeling comfortable. It's not like I have to force every little piece of breath out of my lungs. Again, sympathetic system, right? But if you are breathing out and it just keeps going, you're breathing out and it just keeps going. You're breathing out and wow, it feels natural, but my stomach is contracting. Is that contraction okay? Yes, that contraction is okay. The thing that needs to really sit still are the limbs, the limbs and the head and the chest especially. The chest, we want it to be very still, progressively. We're going to reach that more and more as we progress. But in the beginning, it's okay if it moves a little bit. But that's what the really big thing, the limbs, the legs, the face, and the chest. We want those to be very still. But the gut can be moving. Of course, you have to breathe, right? And so the gut can continue to move. And so that strong contraction that you feel in the stomach is okay. In fact, it's good. I don't want you to try and force it there. I want you to notice it when you're breathing out and it feels comfortable to breathe out very long and you're noticing that contraction. That's great. All right. So don't try to put it there, but if you notice it there, it's okay. All right. What you really want is the breath rate, which is easy and comfortable for you, and which is a long breath under 7 breaths per minute. So how do we do that? Very simple. Resonant breathing app. Play along with that, and you will find the rate which works for you. Now, as you're getting into that rate, somebody said, I'm doing the resonant breathing. I found the comfortable rate for me, and then all of a sudden it wasn't comfortable. So I felt like I was working too hard. So probably your breath rate is dropping and you need to adjust the rate. So go back, try it again, find the rate which is comfortable for you. And eventually your breath will dip way down. And it might want to enter into the tranquil breath, which is a very subtle breath. It's all down in the gut mostly. And it's this little subtle breath. And it starts out, it looks a little fast at first. And then it gets slower. So we enter that medium tranquil breath down in the gut. And then it gets slower still. And that's when it looks like it disappears. And it's very simple. It's very simple. Go and watch somebody in your family who's sleeping, or watch a friend when they're sleeping, when they haven't eaten a huge meal. If they ate a huge meal before they dropped into sleep, they're going to be breathing like crazy. But if they didn't eat a big meal, and better yet, they fasted, and then they sleep, and you watch their breathing, you'll go, is it there? I can't, oh, there's a sign. Okay, maybe they're breathing. Maybe they're... When you watch that and it starts to disappear in the person that you're watching, it's the same thing inside of you in the tranquil breath. You're watching the breath in the belly, deep down in the belly, right? That tranquil, subtle breath. And it just, I can't tell. Is it there? Oh, okay, I think it's there. But you'll be feeling so good, you won't care. And you'll want to put your mind on the very good feelings, the very good proofs, or better yet, the feeling of expansion. So what are the 2 things we really need in meditation? 1, the parasympathetic system. And what is the parasympathetic system? Easy and comfortable. And then the second thing, what do we need? We need expansion. We need the right brain. So if we come at our meditative practice and we are a predator, and I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna force myself to do it, and I'm gonna make this thing work. Now some of that is good because it means you're sincere, you're serious about it. But you have to, at some point in your meditation, you have to, oh, okay, I'm here. I'm sitting here, and whatever comes, it comes. And we let go, right? We let go and we enter into an expansive state. Maybe we look at one dot straight of, this is Hakala. I keep mentioning Hakala. Hakala needs its own video. It's coming. But look straight ahead and just open up your peripheral vision. And you think this exercise is small, but it's so huge. I've gone into samadhi using Hakala. I love Hakala. So you can do that. You can awaken your parasympathetic system. Feel as if you are rolled up into the brain. That's the process of the Om Japa, right? And then you have the tranquil breath, you have the freeze response, you have the roll up. Those are the three essentials that I mentioned, right? You're up in the brain, and now you're expanding, right? And you can use Hakala. You can use, what you do is you go outside and you practice Hakala over and over and over again. And then you go into a meditation and it's dark, right? Okay, where's my dot? Maybe it's the spiritual light. That's perfect. If you see the spiritual light, look at that spiritual light and expand. If you don't see the spiritual light, don't worry about it. Just adopt the same attitude and expand. And that will help to induce the right brain. And inducing the right brain will help to put you in the correct framework in your brain that will enable you to go into samadhi, into the non-dual state, into that union state, right? So it's a really simple thing. I know there's lots of little steps and there's lots of little things to learn, but we want to boil it down to its essential ingredients so it really sticks with us. And it's 1, parasympathetic system. 2, right brain. That's it. Boom, you're done. Just a little jab and a knockout punch. That's it. Very, very simple. And so when you're coming to your practice, ask yourself, is it easy? Is it comfortable? Am I having fun with this? Am I having a little bit of joy with this? Use that little silly little bliss exercise that I gave recently in the heart, or go back and watch the guaranteed bliss video. Okay, watch that. Get a little bliss, have a little fun. I was telling somebody the other day, I was gardening for the monastics, and my supervisor, I think he was on my case. I had a horrible day, and I came back to the gardener house. This is where I was working for the ashram. And one of the other applicants saw me, looked at my face, and I could tell that he felt some of the same thing. And he said, we need a movie. And we went out and we got the dumbest movie we could possibly find. We got Dumb and Dumber. And we sat down and we watched the dumbest movie. And we just belly laughed for 2 hours. And sometimes that's what we need. We take life too seriously. We take ourselves too seriously. We take our problems too seriously. We take everything too seriously. Remember, this is just a show. All the world's but a stage, and the men and women merely players. They have their entrances and their exits. And one man in his time plays many parts. So make sure that one of those parts is fun, is just super joyful and even dumb. So go watch Dumb and Dumber, and I'm going to watch it. So if you're watching it, think Forrest is watching this with me. And I do this on a regular basis. I watch something silly and stupid and fun and just belly laugh and let everything go, because it's all a mirage. And this is scientific. The way that we encounter the world around us, it is through the temporal lobe on the left side, and that's where you hallucinate. So people who use drugs and they hallucinate, they're hallucinating through the same place that you view the world. Oh my God. Does that just blow your mind? Blows your mind, right? Oh my God. So this guy tripping out and me over here, we're the same. And I'm taking it so serious and he's just having a ball. He just gets lots of bad side effects, ruins his body. But we're still both hallucinating, you see? We're hallucinating. This is all a hallucination. Don't take it so seriously. Don't take yourself so seriously. Oh my God. It's too short to take so serious. We're just a little mini story. So don't take it too seriously. You'll go nuts. That's how people lose their minds, because they stress and then they stress and then they stress and then they lose their mind. That's how you do it. You go too far into the left brain, usually with drugs. Too far into the left brain. That's how you lose your mind. And it's really sad. So you gotta have some joy. When you're doing that, you're actually in the front parasympathetic system, which is the ventral vagal. The ventral vagal system is the front parasympathetic system. So go out, have a little bit of fun, come back and go into the deeply restful parasympathetic system. And that's when you have that in your waking life, it's like you are the Cheshire Cat and everything is just hilarious. And you're just sitting in the back, watching everything like the Cheshire Cat. You just got this grin on you that no one can place, because it's not of this world. You're in the dorsal parasympathetic. That's that deep, restorative, healing parasympathetic system. It's the most beautiful thing. And that's what meditation is all about. And then you come out and it bubbles up, because now you've got it here in the ventral vagal parasympathetic system. It's okay to be sympathetic now and then. We got to have it. You know, I'm driving and I will feel my arteries in my arms tighten up into the heart as I'm driving. And we need that. We need that fast reaction of the sympathetic system. You know, when we're driving or maybe you're jogging and a dog chases you, you need that sympathetic system. So it's totally okay. We need that flexibility. And that's what meditation is all about. You hear people say, meditation is about balance. That's right, getting back into balance, which is the parasympathetic system. So all these things, they're inside of you. They cannot be taken away. Somebody told me, a Kriya doesn't work for me. No, that's not true. You have a dorsal parasympathetic. You have a right brain. That's all you need. And nobody's taken that away from you, okay? So nobody can take away the essential ingredients. They're already inside of you. That's why all the saints say it is inside of you right now. It's nowhere for you to go and grasp it. You already have it. You just need to learn how to access it correctly. And that's what this is all about. So I hope that you love this. I hope it impacts you and benefits you. If it did, be sure to hit that bell down below so I can see all of you next time.